News 5 News.
A possible mental health crisis on board the USS Abraham Lincoln. 5,000 sailors and Marines have been at sea for nearly 250 days, sparking mental health concerns on board. Now, it's still unclear when they will return to port here in San Diego. And joining me now to weigh in on this, we have U.S. Representative Mike Levin. And I really want to thank you for being here this afternoon. This is one of those things where it just hits close to home. Obviously, they're home ported here, and these are our sailors, our Marines. Yeah. So I have to ask, I wanted to ask about this letter with other lawmakers that you guys have sent over to the Department of Defense. What are you asking for?
Well, transparency and accountability. This is a horrible situation, and you know, our Marines and sailors are the best of the best. It's such an incredible honor to get to represent so many thousands of them in our community. And they know when they, are on one of these aircraft carriers that it's not going to be easy. They are signed up for some very tough service, but they expect basic habitability, enough to eat and clean water, working plumbing, I mean, very basic stuff. And I think we ought to expect that for them. And some of the comments that I've seen, whether from Secretary Hegseth or others, about the situation not going on nearly long enough from the president, that was very surprising, very, very unfortunate to hear that. So we're just asking for basic answers. How did this happen, and how do we prevent it from happening again? Because right now we've got folks on the Washington that are, hopefully going to be relieving the Lincoln sometime soon.
Right.
How does this not happen to those on the Washington?
So let's talk about this, because they've been out at sea for almost about 250 days. We're seeing that they haven't ported in about 200 days. What are some of the things that you are hearing when you talk about food, mental health? Are you hearing this from the sailors themselves? Are you hearing from the families? What are you being told? I'm
hearing it from the families who have come to our office, some of whom I've spoken with personally. And it really is an awful situation where, again, these folks are not expecting the Holiday Inn. They're not expecting some sort of luxury lifestyle, but enough to eat, running water, clean drinking water, and decent plumbing. And then, again, some breaks every now and then, so that, ultimately, if we want readiness, if we want our warfighters to be ready and prepared for whatever mission may come, it's more about the weapon, more about just the weapons. It's also the quality of life. It's the basics. And, on the Appropriations Committee in the House, we are asked every year to fund $1 trillion+. Now it's over $1 trillion a year, our military budget. And so how is it that they didn't have enough for the basics on the Lincoln? It's either a matter of resources or it's a matter of incompetence by Pete Hegseth and others. And when you look at the facts and the reporting right now, and we're going to need independent investigations to dig into this, it was to be reasonably anticipated that our main hub in Bahrain that would restock a vessel like this was going to be attacked by Iran. And that's exactly what happened the second day of the war. So what was Plan B? Plan B was Diego Garcia, 2,200 miles away. We should have seen this coming. And obviously, those in the chain of command, I think, did. Hegseth either wouldn't listen, he was too much hubris. I honestly don't know, but we have to get to the bottom of it.
And when you bring up Diego Garcia, it takes about, what, 5 days to get there, so that they can get supplies and okay. So that's the issue here. We do have, obviously, we have sound from the president, like you mentioned, Pete Hegseth. Let's just listen to what they had to say.
An admiral came up to see me over the weekend, and it was at a big group, and he happened to be an admiral retired. He said, I've been on ships that are out there much longer than that, sir, and I know people on the Lincoln, they say it's beautifully maintained and beautifully taken care of. And other people went out and they found out to be true. It was fake news reporting from CNN.
And CENTCOM Commander Brad Cooper visited the ship last week, and he says the Lincoln has the lowest number of mental health cases. When you hear that, and also President Trump saying what he had to say, what's your reaction?
Something doesn't add up, and unfortunately with this administration, those who are willing to speak out are retaliated against. There's no tolerance for anybody to do anything but toe the party line or toe Trump's line with regard to everything is going just great. And look, if we really care about our warfighters as much as Pete Hegseth says, he ought to want to know the truth about the circumstances that they find themselves in, wherever that may lead. And clearly there is a huge disconnect here between the facts on the ground as we are hearing them, Both Republican and Democratic members of the House and Senate are very concerned about this, and we have to continue to investigate in an independent way because we're not getting the truth from Pete Hegseth. And I don't know if even the Navy Secretary is briefing the President of the United States. You know, he was out here on August the 6th. He had a meeting with 200 San Diego family members, and they told him what they were hearing, same as they're telling members of Congress like myself what they're hearing from their loved ones, from their sons and daughters, their husbands and wives, which is that this is an untenable situation. This should never been allowed to happen. It cannot continue with insufficient resources for the mental and the physical well-being. Did the Navy Secretary ever brief the President of the United States? We need to know the answer to that as well. And if not, why not?
Do you happen to, I don't know if you do, but do you happen to know where the ship is now and how long loved ones might?
Well, here's the problem is nobody knows for sure. We just know the public reporting, and we know some of the ambiguous statements from the Navy Secretary and from the President of the United States on relief is on the way. And we think, based on public reporting, it's the Washington relieving the Lincoln. But I've heard from family members concerned that their loved ones, first of all, may not be home in time for Halloween, maybe not in time for Thanksgiving. We just don't know. And we also don't know whether they're coming back to San Diego. There's been reporting they're going up to Washington State instead of San Diego. All we want is clarity. The families want to know also what the mission is, right? And if this war is in fact over, which we all know that's a joke, it's now 6 months in just about, but if in fact we've won, as the President has alleged time and again, bring them home. And if we haven't, level with the American people about how this ends. How do you determine victory? And what's the strategy to get you there?
Okay. Well, Representative Mike Levin, I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah.